Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Check out our large assortment of logo merch and our lifestyle collection as well. Just head over to abvnetwork.com and click on shop. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss where we would go on a bourbon vacation. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Kathy Cool, Lenny Eckstein, and Demetrius Kane.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, so yeah, we've got a fun show today. We're going to be talking about a bourbon vacation. Where would you go? What would you do? We'll get to that after the break. For right now, McNew said there's something she wanted to talk about, and it's going to fit well with the show. What is it?
So it's kind of vacation related, maybe.
Okay.
So Anderson, Indiana, close to me, we just got one of those Uranus fudge factories. And I
Yes.
know that the original is on Route 66.
Right.
So I started deep diving. I'm like, I think Route 66 would be a fun little summer road trip. I don't know if it's as cool as it used to be, but I want to stay in those real crappy hotels and see all the touristy
you can stay in the
things.
teepees and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, I want to do that. I think that would be like a fun, probably 2 weeks to do. So what do you guys think would be a fun road trip though? Like cross country or just to a certain point? Because, on Route 66, you're just driving to see things. I think that would be fun though.
Route 66 is clearly one of the best. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. I'll tell you a really cool one is down the California coast. I mean, you go from, the topography changes from all over. And then, as you get to the ocean too, you start seeing with the big rocks, and then it gets to more like sandy beaches and stuff like that. It's cool. It is very cool. And I'm not even a huge fan of, California in general. There's not a lot of there that I want to see, but I do like, especially the northern part, where the redwood trees and all that. That's to me some of the best vacation travel you can do right there. That's where I like to go. But yeah, that's a road trip. That's what I want to do.
That does sound fun.
Yeah. Kathy?
Sorry. Was somebody going?
You.
Oh, I did a really fun one back right after I graduated from college, and I was freshly married, and my husband's like, let's move to Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
So we loaded up our Ford Taurus.
Yeah.
And we took a 3-day drive to Portland, Oregon, and it was incredible. Every state had a different personality. The Columbia River Gorge is gorgeous. We stayed for about 7 days, and I said, this was a really stupid idea. And then we took the same road trip in reverse.
Okay. You didn't mix it up going back to kind of see some different stuff?
No, we didn't. We took we had that AAA triptych, the pages.
Sure.
That you would flip up when you got through, and we just flipped them back the other way.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Yes, that's a fun road trip. I do like doing that. I've done a lot of that stuff because I've been to all 50 states, and most of it road tripping, other than that the coast trip. So other than West Coast trip, I should say. That's the only time we flew. Other than, of course, Alaska and Hawaii. Yes, you have to do those. Yeah. Well, Lenny, you were getting ready to say what would you think would be the ultimate road trip?
Yeah, well, that's kind of one of the things I definitely do. And they're not always week or 2 week long trips, but I really I've got like a little slide in camper for the back of my truck, and I like just hitting the road. And I kind of already live in the middle of not the starting point, but a starting point. So whether it's heading up to Yellowstone or going down towards Arizona or Mexico, Colorado's a good jumping off point, but really, what I like to do a lot is I like the motorcycle road trips, and kind of a bucket list one that I haven't done yet. There's a trail. It's called the Trans-America Trail. And I'd have to familiarize myself to see what states it goes through, but it does pass through Colorado. So I could ride, like, I think it goes from Colorado to, I want to say Virginia is the East Coast stopping point.
Okay.
All secondary roads, a lot of dirt roads, mostly dirt roads. I think that kind of stuff's really awesome.
All right. Dimitri, how about you, man? What would be a good road trip for you?
So kind of going off of what Lenny was saying, kind of with those dirt road, there's a road trip you can actually take from like the southernmost part of Alaska all the way to like the northern Alaska. Mm-hmm. And I've always thought that would be amazing to do on a motorcycle. It's mostly dirt road, so you'd have to do it on like a on-road, off-road, or an adventure bike. I've been to Alaska and did some fly fishing up there, and I've not been able to go back since then. And I've always thought that would be a go back, drive, that whole area and just be out there in nature for a couple of weeks and, lose yourself a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, we just had our shirt designed. The dumb looking turtle shirt is now available. Thanks. Yeah, McNew said armadillo is just a dumb looking turtle. She thought so. She was.
I didn't know we did things.
Yeah, I'll be going to Alaska in a couple weeks. Actually, my sister lives up there, and going for high school graduation. So her one son graduated last year. We couldn't make it up there, so they're doing both because the other one graduates this year, and they're celebrating both of them this year. So my mom and I are going up there next month. So should be fun.
So, Lenny, on this T-shirt that you just designed.
Yeah, dumb-looking turtle.
Yeah, dumb-looking turtle. Like, how do we get this all going there now for like on a road trip?
Yeah, absolutely. We need to put that out in the shop or something. We need to do something with that, I think. Yeah. McNew, how about you? You asked the question. What is your ultimate road trip?
Yeah, so I really do want to do the Route 66 thing. I just think it'll be like nostalgic and fun, and you can make it take like as long or as short as you want to. Like maybe you don't have to do all the stops and stuff, but I definitely want to spend a summer, couple weeks doing that.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, guess what, gang? It is now time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Kathy Cool. Kathy, what do you got?
I am going to open up it's got maybe a quarter of it left. It's Widow Jane.
Okay.
It's the oak and applewood aged.
Okay.
Very dead.
Yeah, not much there. McNew, what do you got?
Also not much. I have some Hard Truth Hills Sipes.
Okay. That's our leader. Not a lot there, but that is the lead. And I'm not expecting much more than that. I got Whistle Pig straight rye. This is a pick from our buddy OJ Lima. So this is an old one I've had for a while. So let's see what we got here. Oh, not bad. Not bad. A little sloshy, but good enough to take the lead. Dimitri, what do you got?
I have Baum Brothers bourbon.
Nice.
So yeah, I got a couple bottles of that.
Like those guys. They're fun.
Yeah, they're good guys.
Yep. See what you got here. No. I've still got the lead. Lenny, you're between me and victory. What do you got there, buddy?
I've got some Stranahan's Blue Peak. It's their Colorado single malt Solara finish. No, nothing.
Silence.
I haven't had that one yet. I've heard really good stuff on it.
I like it a lot.
Do you? I do see that one out there. I'll tell you what. Lenny sent us some whiskey, and we got to try 10 different barrels from Lenny's whiskey. It was 10 for 10. They were fantastic. I loved all of them. And I'll tell you what.
Turds.
You said what?
I try not to send like turds.
Yeah, no, you did a good job. And I'll tell you what, the one that won, the single malt that won, is literally the best single malt that I've ever tasted anywhere. Fantastic. And it's just one of the best whiskeys I've ever had. So we're going to bring that in, and it's really, really good stuff. So
yeah, you picked a good one. I like that.
Yeah. So cool. So cheers to me on the win. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about a bourbon vacation. Where would we go? What would we do? We'll do that in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley of the ABV Network. Let's talk about the people who make this show happen. First up is Leatherwood Distillery in Pleasant View, Tennessee. Company founder Andy Lang started distilling as a hobby while serving his country as an elite Green Beret. Andy distilled all over the world during his time in the military and brought this passion back to him in the U.S. when he returned home. A visit to Leatherwood combines Andy Lang's unique distilled spirits and a museum of artifacts from his time serving the U.S. Share a drink with a fallen soldier at their bar where you can grab an acrylic bio off the wall that celebrates the individuals who gave the ultimate sacrifice to protect his or her country. They will also ship their distilled spirits directly to you, so check them out at leatherwooddistillery.com. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent visits to Kentucky. Today, he's leading the way for young distillers making their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery combines family history, a look at what makes their products unique, and of course a tasting through their whiskeys, moonshines, and creams. Check them out at neelyfamilydistillery.com and visit them in Sparta, Kentucky. Go ahead, Danny. Is there something you need to say?
Just sitting there saying that, plain and simple, if you're sending me to a text, you need to tell me you need to send it to me on a text. So,
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking bourbon vacations.
Yes, we are. So for me, my bourbon vacation would be I'd go over to Scotland and ask the distiller why they're not making a peach-flavored scotch. There's a lot of money to be made there. Why are they not cashing in? So that would be
your face on a poster and say this.
I might be kicked out of the country. Yeah, I was banned.
Lifetime ban.
But I tell you what, that would be pretty cool. Would it not be cool, Lenny? How would you feel if you got kicked out of a country? Nothing bad happened. You don't have to go to jail or anything. They're just like
if it was the last day, I'd be very stoked.
Yeah, me too. I would think that'd be so cool. I'd tell everyone, I'm banned from Scotland. I'd love to go with you. I'm banned from Scotland. I can't go there. That'd be awesome. But, now, seriously, what bourbon vacations? What would you guys like to do if you could do something?
I actually did a really fun one in Colorado.
Okay.
I missed Deerhammer, but
rude.
I know. I didn't. It was years ago. It was before I even knew what was going on.
He was there.
Yeah. I haven't forgiven you.
Yeah.
But we did like, the whitewater rafting, and then we'd go.
This is right next to my distillery.
Right. Boy, that's hurtful.
You could have waved from the river.
Yeah.
We went up Pikes Peak, and then we came down and we went to a distillery. There's so many fun things to do there and distilleries. So that's a good one. But I would love to see the New York distilleries.
Yeah. I do think New York is a fun distillery too. I think there's a lot there, and there's some really good ones, and you could just hit the highlights. And it's kind of cool to see different takes from, New York is of course everything too. It's from big city to rural, so I'm sure their distilleries are all over the place, and it'd be kind of fun for sure. All the way to like tourist destinations like Finger Lakes, so you get a lot of cool different aspects.
Yeah, I think Black Button is up there, right? Like they're more rural, New York. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're out there in Rochester area, so yeah. Kind of a sad little place, but that'd be fun to see.
Distillery, just cheers up.
Yeah. Have you been there, like Rochester area, Lenny? Northeast guy? You ever?
I haven't spent. I've been
Buffalo
through
that.
Yeah, no, I haven't spent a lot of time up there.
Kind of depressing there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's great stuff everywhere, but I never stopped to find it.
Yeah. Didn't you always feel like Pittsburgh would look like Buffalo does? I always thought it would just be a steel town. It'd be dirty. Now, actually, it's clean. It's beautiful. Pittsburgh is an amazing city. It's beautiful.
Yeah, when the weather's nice, it's great.
Yeah, it's a good place. Yeah. We got sidetracked there. So what Dimitri, where would be like a bourbon vacation you'd want to go on?
You know, there's 2 states that I've always wanted to go to just because of all the cool stuff they're doing. And not being a small business owner, it's hard to get away sometimes, but doing a proper whiskey bourbon tour of Colorado.
Yes.
Texas,
yeah.
Those 2 states, I'm really impressed with everything that's coming out of Texas. I'm really impressed with everything that's coming out of Colorado. And I feel like, some states, it's like they're starting to hit their upswing, but they haven't quite hit it yet.
Right.
And with like those 2 states, like Colorado and Texas, it's like, I feel like so many distilleries there are just like hitting it right.
Yep.
You have a great time. And I don't feel like you would drink hardly anything that wouldn't be, good in its own right.
Yeah. I agree with you that
those 2 visit Lenny. I want to point that out. I would visit Lenny. I would whitewater raft with his bourbon, a barrel maybe. I might take a whole barrel, call it River Agitation. There's an idea.
We haven't done it yet, but it's got to happen.
Yeah, I will. We will do a collaboration. My beard on the bourbon down the river.
You can do it. I'll have the raft.
Yeah. So, I'm getting ready to take that Colorado trip. So I'm lucky enough. We're going to be filming a movie in June, and we get to go to 6 different Colorado distilleries, kind of make a little roundabout around the state. It's going to be fun. And we'll really get to learn what's going on with those distilleries and meet the people behind the brands too. It's going to be cool. And all of it's good whiskey. I mean, I've tried the whiskey from all of those places, and it's going to be fantastic. And so I agree. Colorado they're pretty mature when it comes to what they've got going on, and Texas, it feels like they've just kind of gotten to that place in the last couple of years. Because for a while Texas was not good, but I feel like they're hitting their stride. Iron Root and Garrison Brothers now and Balcones, and there's a lot of other ones too.
So what did they do to figure out how to deal with all that heat?
I think they've messed with the barrels. They've done also. I think the biggest thing I think they've worked too, even though I don't think they'll tell you this. I think the water. I mean, you start with that Texas water is terrible. If that's your base, that's a problem. So you got to figure out how to filter it or whatever you got to do, or bring water. And I don't know. You got to do something. If you're using Texas tap water, it's not good. Not good.
Huh.
No. So it'll be fun to see if our friends in Florida figure this out, right? We'll see if they can get on the upswing. So there's certainly more and more distilleries popping up down there. So hopefully we'll see them do better. Everybody's kind of hit on the ones I'd like to go to. I mean, the Colorado thing's huge. I think that a lot of great things are going on there. And the Texas one was going to be one I was going to say too. I didn't know if anybody hit on that. And Kathy too. New York would be another one I'd throw out there. So
Texas was on my list too. So I was actually surprised that everybody had it on there, but they're clearly doing great things now. So good for Texas.
Yeah. What about Indiana? Is there anything that would draw us to Indiana, McNew?
We have so much in Indiana right now.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic things. So, of course, Southern Indiana, you got Spirits of French Lake. Jason at Old 55, fantastic things. We're going to go see him later this year. Downtown, they're not really downtown, but like Indy Metro, like there's West Fork whiskey. They have a cool wall you can take a photo with. They're also making great whiskey. They have 1205. There's 8th Day Distilling. They're kind of hippie-ish. They're doing some cool stuff. Their gins and stuff are real good. I like their whiskey too. Their bartender's fun. Metro Indy's cool. And we're just doing a lot in Indiana right now. So if you're missing out on Indiana bourbon, like that's your fault.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Hard Truth.
Yeah, Hard Truth. We had an absolute blast there. I wish they would build some cabins on their land. I would just hang out there probably every weekend. Like, gotta go check it into my cabin at Hard Truth.
Or tree houses without snakes.
Yeah, that would be even better because they have that big woods.
So this, and of course, when you're talking Indiana, there's one behemoth there that if they ever decided they were a tourist destination, could change things literally overnight in Indiana.
And they're in such a good location.
Yes,
is the cutest little town. It's a tourist town. It's a river town. I don't know why they're not doing it. I kind of do, but I feel like it's a missed opportunity, really. Like they could bring in so much more tourist dollars to their town. That's a tourist town. Like,
right. And, they probably care about that somewhat, bringing in tourist dollars, but what dollars could they bring into their distillery? Selling their private brands, now selling the Lux Row brands in there too in their gift shop. They could sell all that stuff. Exactly. Selling merchandise, charging for tours because they've never had tours. I think they could make a fortune. Yeah,
and their history is so interesting too. Like if they don't want to take you back in the production area, fine, build a damn museum on the property because that's interesting too. Like they were secrets. They've been there forever. So there's so much they're kind of missing out on.
They can have a second experience. I agree, which was just kind of more along the lines of a museum. You got a good point there, McNew. So and they've got plenty of land. Gosh, you can drive for miles and still be on their campus. Crazy.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Another one I wanted to point out, not a vacation, but Columbus, Ohio, they have Watershed. Watershed's doing some real cool stuff. I love Watershed Distillery.
Watershed's cool. Yeah. Columbus is a fun town.
There's a little restaurant there called Opa Tavern and Grill. And this dude has so many barrel picks. I haven't been yet, but I follow him on Instagram. He's always like, you need to come up. And I haven't done it yet. So I'm trying to plan a weekend to go to Columbus, Ohio, see him, go to Watershed. I think that'd just be a fun little day.
It seems like if we knew someone who coordinated our events, they could come
maybe they can make that happen.
Yeah, we'll see. Dimitri, you had a question when we were talking about Indiana. So what was your question specifically?
I think based on the whole thing that's going on in Indiana, we could take your exact same idea that you were planning to go to Scotland with, go down there and pitch peach bourbon, to them. And I bet you get a very similar result. It's kind of, you might be kicked out of Indiana.
You might be right.
Back down to Kentucky.
Because I don't know that that would help them that much. I'm telling you, in Scotch, it would be huge. The first one to do something like this, while they may be scorned and people laugh at them, and I'm not trying it. I do think that there is a huge demographic that will try it, and I don't know if that's younger drinkers, people who don't normally drink whiskey. I don't know who it is that drinks all this stuff, but I think it'll happen. I think it would. Well.
Steve, what about this? Like something I think about a lot is like, we hold bourbon really dear and like sacred in a sense in this country. And you can't make bourbon in Mexico or Scotland, but you just can't call it bourbon. And I had so when you were saying you would go to Scotland and get kicked out for pitching peach scotch, it could be a viable answer. Like maybe my trip would be to Scotland for a bourbon vacation because there's got to be someone out there making bourbon, but I know for a fact, I just had a conversation with a guy on a motorcycle forum, but he's a distiller at Arbiki, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, in Scotland, and they make a Highland rye out there. And I believe it's referred to as a spirit of Scotland, but it's aged in, I don't know if it's new oak, but it's charred American oak, and it's made with rye, I believe grown in Scotland. Like that qualifies for pseudo bourbon tourism, kind of, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I would think that, yes. I like so many distilleries I go to a lot of distilleries, and oftentimes they'll tell me what's interesting when you promote tourism in Scotland, their distilleries do promote tourism. And a lot of times I'll hear, we create this because someone's bringing in a spouse. I only want to make whiskey, but someone's bringing in a spouse that doesn't drink whiskey. So I need to have a vodka or a scotch or something else, or a flavored whiskey that appeals to them too. Otherwise they don't like anything that you got there. And I wonder why there's nothing in Scotland that does the same type of thing. I don't understand. I'm not a proponent of it. I don't want to go back down to I'm not a proponent of this, but I'm just a proponent of capitalism and business. And it just seems like there's a missed opportunity here, even if I don't understand who drinks this stuff. People do. There should be no such thing in my mind as Fireball. It's huge. But look at all the money that is made off Fireball. It's, it's a cash cow. I don't drink it. I don't like it. I laugh at people that do. I'd love to own that product. I know that.
Yeah.
So weird to me.
I'll actually, Steve. So I forgot to mention Starlight when I was talking about Indiana. We can't leave them out, but they're a huge farm distillery. They do like a blackberry whiskey and things like that because they were a winery first. Yeah. But it's good because it's a natural flavor. It's actually made with like their blackberries and the stuff that they're growing there. That's different than like throwing in some flavored bullshit. So right. I don't know. If you lived in like a peach orchard, sure, make a peach whiskey. But
I agree. If you have to do flavored, do a natural one, and then it's okay. It's passable versus those flavored ones where it just doesn't taste right. It's just it tastes like it's out of a science lab somewhere. So
that's not good. Like
medicine.
No.
There you go. There's what we would do on a bourbon vacation. So or at least the conversation that we get in when we're having.
I'm waiting for all the comments that you're going to get, Steve. The emails I'm going to see too. It's like, you left out Kentucky. Why weren't you talking about Kentucky?
Well, I figured that's the standard. We all go there too. So yeah.
We go there often. We love Kentucky, but they didn't have to be on this list.
Yeah. So yes, that's just the norm. That's just going home, basically. Even if you're not from there, it feels like
it's not a vacation for us anymore.
It feels like you're going home. So yeah. All right. Well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Dimitri, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Dimitri_Kane on Instagram, and then at Nobleton's on Instagram. You can also find us at the Dimitri Kane on Facebook and Nobleton's Distilling on Facebook. And then you can also find us at nobletonsdistilling.com, where you can find all of our different products that we have that we can ship to your door.
There you go. Kane, Cain, by the way. So there's multiple ways to spell that, but that's how he does. Kathy, how about you? Where can people find you?
Just on Facebook, Kathy Cool.
All right. Lenny.
You can find myself, the rest of Deer Hammer, on social media at Deer Hammer, on the web at deerhammer.com, where you can order all of our stuff shipped to your door. And you can come visit us in beautiful Buena Vista, Colorado.
All right, McNew.
I am on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right. For me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. That's the one you got to check out because everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right. Great job today, gang. For this, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.